Hello, 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 my lovely Year 4 designers. It's part 1 of your final challenge, where we're going to take all your fantastic questions and answers that you came up with for a Roman quiz and turning it into an electronic quiz board. We've finalised all of our questions and made any changes. I changed this one, and you might have made some changes as well. And we're making sure that the answers match, and then we're ready to go. So you're going to be needing one of these today. It's a worksheet where we're going to be able to write all of our questions and then all of our answers in best, ready to cut out and put onto our quiz board to make sure it looks really nicely presented. We'll also need a piece of A4 card, it doesn't really matter what colour, and then you'll need a pen of some sort, of writing pen, and you'll also need a pencil and a ruler. And then we have this lovely stuff. Do you remember this copper tape, this sticky tape, where you peel off the back and it leaves the copper, which is what conducts the electricity? Fantastic stuff. So you have a big strip of that, and then there'll be extra in your classroom if you need it. As well as this lovely copper tape, we'll be needing a few other things such as scissors, electrical tape and some glue. And that's it for our materials. So our first job is to copy our first question onto the sheet in best. So for me, my first question was, in Roman mythology, who founded or started Rome? Okay, so I'm writing that in neatly as I can in my handwriting pen. And now this is the important bit. I'm looking where the answer is and I'm counting down. It's not 1, 2, 3. It's on the 4th square down. This is important. So I'm putting Romulus. Romulus is my answer there. Okay, who founded Rome? Romulus. And then I carry on. I go to my next question, which for me was, what did the Romans call Manchester? And my answer was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 boxes down, which is Mamuseum. Then I carried on, completing all of my questions, all 10, but one at a time, writing in the question and then finding where my answer is, counting that down, how many boxes, and adding my answer before moving on to my next question. It's really important that you follow the plan that you made last half term so that your questions will match the answers, but they're all muddled up to make it more fun. If you find you make any terrible mistakes in the questions or answers, there's some spares in the middle. You just write them out again and stick them on. When you're happy that you've done all of your questions and all of your answers, you just cut them out. Very simply, cut round them nice and neatly. Now remember, this is for the final piece. This is for good presentation. So take your time cutting these out to make sure it looks good. I'll just quickly do my answers here. And the thing I want you to remember is it's about getting it right. So if you need to go slowly, you need to go slowly. And you don't actually need to finish everything today. If you don't get it done in this lesson, then it will be fine. So there we go. We have all of our answers in the order that we wrote them in our planning. And we have all of our questions in the order we wrote them in our planning. And now we're ready to stick them on. So we've got our piece of colour card. As I said, I've got purple, you might have another colour. And I want you to mark 1 centimetre down from the top in a couple of places. I usually do it in 3 places when I'm doing this. That gives a good accurate line. Put my pencil on, draw a line, and that's giving me a nice line 1 centimetre down. And that's just going to make sure I've got it nice and straight and neat. I'm going to get some glue on the back of my questions, lots of nice gloopy glue. You can use PVA, you can use double-sided tape, whatever you prefer. And now we're just going to match up with that line we drew at the top, getting it nice and straight and matching it along the side. There we go. Any little loose corners stick down, and that looks nice and neat. It's right up against the edge and right up against that 1 centimetre mark. And we do the same with our answers. Just stick them into place using your choice of glue and do it nice and neatly. And then we're ready. Now it's the exciting bit. We've got to join up our question with the answer using that copper tape. What I want you to do is to make sure you overlap the question box with the copper tape and the answer box with the copper tape. You need a bit of tape hanging over each of those boxes. It's really important. It goes into the box. So we peel off the back of the tape a little bit at a time. Don't peel it all off, just a bit at a time like that, and slowly stick it down. So I've joined the question, who founded Rome, to the answer Romulus, and I've made sure that it's overlapping the box, and then I'm covering it with the black electrical tape. Now you might have all other colours, it doesn't matter what colour it is, mine's black, as long as it's electrical tape. Now I don't want any of that tape going into the white boxes, but the copper has to. So now I'm going to my next question. Following my planning, and I'm joining my second question, what did the Romans call Manchester? And I'm joining that with the copper tape down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 boxes down. I've got it in my planning so I can check it's all joined up. And yes, the answer is Museum. And again, can you see how I've got the copper into the box there, and I've got it into the box for the answer, and I'm covering it up with the tape, but not putting the tape in the box. I don't want us to see the tape. We're going to hide that in a bit, so you can actually trim bits off like I've just done there to make sure it's not into the white boxes. The copper needs to be in the boxes, but the tape doesn't. So make sure you follow your planning. You've got the lines joining up. My third question is actually, the answer is actually in the last box right at the bottom. So I'm going to need a longer piece of tape for this one. But it's the same idea. We're just putting the tape on, joining the question to the correct answer, and then covering it up with our electrical tape. You have to do this one bit at a time. A question to the answer with the copper tape, then the electrical tape over the top, and then move on to the next one. If you forget the electrical tape, the circuit will be all over the place. So we have to get this right. Now you can see I've got my nice copper in each of the boxes of the questions and the answers, but I haven't got any of my ugly electrical tape. And that's part 1 of our final challenge complete. So, voila from me. Take care. Bye-bye.